Hey, what's up, Marvel Legends community? Shartimus Prime here, doing my first post on the Marvel Legends community channel. Um, yeah, I just wanted to make a video. I'm calling this Shartimus Prime's display tips number 1. I don't have that many tips for you guys, but I get asked quite frequently about how I set up my figures on walls and how I get them to hang like how they do. Like this is my Avengers setup right here, and I get a lot of questions on how do I hang them up on the wall. And the first thing I gotta say is, well, it's just basically push pins and twisty ties. But the poor quality of my camera makes them look makes the twisty ties and push pins more transparent, I think. Like this Aries, for instance, like there's a push pin right here, and it's like if you get, I don't know, at first glance you don't really see it, but there's a push pin holding his foot. Now that push pin's there just for balancing. The one that's really holding him up is there's a twisty tie wrapped around his torso. You can see he's got that torso joint between that skull logo and the brown part. And I have a twisty tie wrapped around, and I tuck that underneath, so it's like kind of buried inside there, so you can't see it. And then the twisty tie wraps around the back, and it's pushed, and it's connected to a push pin. And I'll show you in a second how to make a twisty tie like that. And it's the same kind of method I used for Sentry hanging up on the wall right here. So yeah, and then some of them I just have hanging, just basically, just being balanced. Like there's a push pin in Iron Fist's armpit, and then there's a push pin at the knee right there. So hey, check out my movie Optimus Prime. Look at that MPO4 trailer. It kind of looks neat. Anyway, yeah, so I'll show you the easier one to use out of the two. Oh, and here's the other thing is I have, this collection. I keep all my push pins like this in this, Hershey's thing. And then, and I have a bag full of twisty ties. I keep my twisty ties and I put them in here. And there's actually a difference. There's differences between twisty ties too, which is kind of a trip. So like, first off, you got to make sure that it's cool to put little holes through your wall. You know what I mean? You want to make sure that you're cool doing that. So like what I'll do is I'll put one in like that, and then we got Captain Britain here, and there's Batman. So swear to me. All right. So you got one pit right there, and then you can just like scope it out and just figure out that the next one's gonna be right there. Do something like this, and you have a generic, flying pose, and there he is, hanging off the wall like that. So that's pretty simple. And then the other way to go about it is, let me show you twisty ties. Go over here. Now, there's actually, this is like the nerdiest shit you'll ever hear, but they actually don't make the twisty ties like they used to. This is an older twisty tie that I prefer. It's a little bit thinner than the newer twisty ties. So I don't know if you can see the difference in thickness there, but I prefer using these ones. They hold better and they're easier to keep in the wall. So if you have older twisty ties, which you either have them or you don't, you're not going to really be able to collect them unless you buy the older figures. But so basically what I do is, so you get the twisty tie and you wrap it around the figure, right? So you want to wrap it around the waist and then twist, right? So he's being held like that, okay? And then you get a hole ready. So basically you want to leave a certain amount of space here. So you start to twist like this, right? And then you got to make another twist going around to make a second hole. So you can see right here, and then to straighten this out, so, well, before I did that, so you can see the loop right here, that's going to be for your push pin, and then you twist it around like this, the whole thing, so that, you tighten up, so you don't have this being all loose or whatever. You can make it more of like a solid string. So there you go, that's that, and then bend it a little bit, like if you're going to have him hanging from the ceiling, and then you just stick the push pin right through there. You have it hang from the wall upside down like that. And then you can, you know, you want to tilt the head up on the figure, tilt the torso up, you know. And then basically once you have it set up like this, this is going to be thick enough where you could bend it. You know, he's hanging too much, he's leaning too forward for my liking, so because it's with the twisty ties, you could bend it around a little bit so it's more like that, you know. I prefer to try to keep these in a straight line as much as possible. But yeah, that's basically what I do as far as getting them hanging around, you know what I mean? It's not the most genius thing, but I do get a lot of questions about it, and you know, I'm really happy with the way they look in the display. I use them a lot, you know, for the flyers and whatnot. I really like my Falcon variant. It's so much better than the other one. And I added Moon Knight to my collection. That's right. But yeah, dude, that's my 2 cents on as far as collector's tips goes. All right, you guys. Yeah, I'll catch you later. Peace.